Hello everyone, it's Sean Creationeer here, and we are back in Car Mechanic Simulator. Now, I've got something that I've wanted to do for quite some time on this game, and I finally found a mod that has it. It's one of my childhood heroes, and it was probably a lot of people's favourite car of all time, actually. This is not what we're working on, though I will be working on this. I've got something special planned for this guy. No, it's this guy here. This is a McLaren F1. And it is the most expensive car I've ever picked up in a junkyard. This was 1.1 million in its current state. And I mean, look at it. Well, it's trashed. This is simply put. The engine is barely there. Everything is rusty and crusty and nasty. But yeah, 1.1 million. Let me check this out. Well, it's dropped in price a little bit because I've taken a piece off it. One single piece has come off it, and that is the bonnet. and that's how the price is falling so quickly. So yeah, this is going to be a really expensive build. But yeah, I'm going to split this up again into smaller parts so it's easier to digest. So I'm basically going to strip this car down, do the quick fixes, but that's it for this episode. So stick around and I'll show you this incredible car. So let's get it stripped off. Let's take the window, to that front clamshell, that's the exhaust manifold, and in there is a V12. Now, the only V12s that we have in this game are, well, we've got the Pagani P12, the P12? V12s. We've got the Pagani V12s, and that's what the basis is for this, which is obviously an AMG engine. The original engine for this guy was actually made by BMW, believe it or not. Yeah, so this is going to have some trivia in it as well, so that's pretty good. These things, I've got to say, Dead Bob, who is the modder who created this car, he's done such a good job. All the detailing on this thing is immaculate. I mean, these are real buttons that are on a real car. The E opens up the engine bay, and the L opens up this guy, which is a luggage area. And it's the same on the other side. So E opens that, and L opens another luggage space. And that down there is the actual part list of the car as it came out of the factory. These things here are very weird. This is one of the first cars ever built to have a modem inside it, so it could talk to McLaren headquarters and basically diagnose what's going on with the engine. It had a call home function. Oddly enough, the only computer that actually works with this car is one of the oldest, like, it's a really, really old Hewlett-Packard machine. Nothing else is compatible with it. So they have to keep an old machine around at McLaren headquarters just in case one of these things decides to break down. You literally can't make that shit up. Unbelievable. I've got to get some quick parts in here. That battery. Ooh, how am I going to get to that? Because I can't see it. I'll figure it out, I suppose. Ah, there we go. That's how we get to it. Right, take you off, and... accessible from engine bay. So I have to go... swoop all the way through here to get to... What the... Okay. So I'll get the quick things out of the way first. Right. So I've got those pieces in. I mean, look at these tyres. Look how big they are. Those are some big boys. Right. Now we've stripped it all off, I think that's everything off the body. Yeah, I think so. Right. Let's move it to after A. We'll do the usual thing. I'll move you. Move you. And we'll also move you. So let's hit it with that. No, actually, no, we're not going to do that. Let's look at the price of it at the moment. 550,000 is what it's worth. Now we've taken all of the bits off it. Yee. Let's not use the interior detailing just yet. That's 1.1 million again. What the fuck? I spent $1,000 on it using this thing, $100 on this thing, and now it's worth 1.6 million. What the f... Wow, what a car. Let's return this stuff back. Yeah, keep it tidy. Let's get her lifted up. Let's have a look what we're dealing with. So I think for this I'm going to take apart the front end first. Or I'm going to build out the front end first, but we're going to take it all apart in this one. So there we go. Get rid of that. That. The McLaren F1 was probably, well, it was the most technologically advanced car in the world. It was also the fastest car in the world. And it held the fastest production car, should we say. It held that record for over 10 years. Well over 10 years. It wasn't actually beaten until the Bugatti Veyron came onto the scene. But in terms of power, the Veyron had to work hard, like really hard. Like having a quad turbocharged W16, I believe it is, which is ridiculous. This car is naturally aspirated, as in it doesn't have turbo on it, it doesn't have a supercharger on it. It's just a normal car in terms of, you know, no turbos or anything like that. So it doesn't have that ridiculous wind-up that many turbocharged cars have. It has no lag. There is no lag to this car. It just goes. And of course it was much lighter than the Veyron. It was also the first car, well, the first modern car to have 3 seats. And 3 seats is a very, very weird setup. But there's a lot of reasons for that. McLaren, at its heart, has always been a racing company. It produces race cars. It's been in the F1 game for decades. You know, hence why this car is called the F1, because it basically took all of the lessons that we've learned from F1 racing and put them into a road car. This is a carbon fiber car. Because it's an older car, it had less safety features. I mean, it was a safe car, don't get me wrong, but it definitely had a lot less safety stuff going on. I mean, look at this for a crumple zone. That to there, and then your face. So yeah, another little interesting piece. You see this here? This is a CD changer. And it's an interesting CD changer because it was specifically made for this car, and McLaren basically went to Kenwood and said, right, I want a CD changer. Okay, here you go. No, take that shit back. I need a super lightweight CD changer. So all the servos were lightened and everything inside it was lighter than anything else on the market. And McLaren basically said, you can also not make this for any other car ever. This is ours. And I'm like, okay, cool. Look, the modelling on this is brilliant. He's even got a little toolkit on it. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, this was a magical car, to say the least. Absolutely amazing. And all the engineering that went into it, it was just so over the top. Over the top engineering. So yeah, you could probably tell I am a fan of the car. I'm a big fan of the car. It was, like I say, it was a childhood hero. And in terms of its significance on the world of motoring, I don't think it could be understated. And you know, Jay Leno famously owns one. Rowan Atkinson has owned one. You know, Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, and Blackadder fame. If you're a Brit, you'll know him. If not, you might not know him. Yeah, he had a purple one, and then he crashed it. And that also broke a record for being the most expensive car repair in history. Which you can imagine. It's you fuck. Which you can imagine, to be honest, because these cars do not go cheap. If you were to buy one at an auction now, I think one sold recently for about $5 million. They are not cheap. They are certainly not cheap. Come on. Come on, there we go. Right. So now that all that has been fixed. Yeah. It's a pretty cool car. Very cool car. And I'm going to enjoy building this up. And what's the price of it now? Still 1.5 million, even without the engine. Jesus Christ. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there. But thank you very much for joining me. And I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.